He told me, no, it's not a track day, it's a race. It's a race? I said,
Oh,
I can't
wow.
race, I say. They put me on a 3-hour simulator to make sure I don't screw it up. So I had to go on a simulator for 3 hours. Oh, got me motion sickness and everything starts coming back again.
Wow. So what was it like to drive the FXX, or I have one more, but let's try with the FXXK first. Hi speeders, welcome to another episode of Speeder Talks, where we talk about cars, life, business, and everything else in between. So today is a highly anticipated guest of mine, actually. He's a Ferrari Challenge driver, motorsport enthusiast, car enthusiast, and just an aspiring individual, all in one package. Mr. David Tjiptobiantoro, thank you so much.
Thank you
so much for coming here today. It's an honor.
Thank you for having me. Yes, thank you.
The honor is mine. So we've been waiting for this moment for
quite some time,
months now. You have
Yeah.
a busy schedule, but I'm very honored to have you here. Thank you so much.
You.
So if you noticed, our environment is a bit different than our usual episode because we are now invited by Asiana Group as the host for today. They're a winner of multiple property development awards, including the Best Boutique Developer in 2016, APAC Property Awards winner, and the Property Guru Award winner in 2023. They have properties like Snopati Suites, a new and upcoming one in Bali. So thank you so much for Asiana Group for hosting us today. But enough about the location. We're here to chat to Mr. David. So thank you again for your time. It's an honor to have you here, especially on the first podcast, probably. Yeah.
First podcast. Happy to be here. Thank you.
So usually here we start off with talking about cars, but before then, like you've been into motorsport in the last few years, kali ya?
Yeah. Actually, I started pretty late. Actually, motorsports is actually a passion, a hobby.
Okay.
Which I picked up as a kid from my father. And growing up from school, high school, college, I've been playing a lot of video games.
Okay, like
Gran
Turismo was.
So that's how it started.
Okay.
Yes. And
okay.
Also watching a lot of live races.
Okay, like F1 particularly?
Like Formula 1, yeah.
I see, okay. So since you were a kid, you were passionate, you were interested into motorsport and racing.
Yes.
Was it synonymous with cars in general as well, or just the racing aspect of it?
It started with cars in the beginning.
Okay.
Then after that, it grew bigger, and then it came to motorsports.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Particularly F1, or?
It started with F1 first because when I started, when my father explained things to me when I was a kid, I was grown to love it. So
I see. It's usually handed down from the generations, especially some of our guests who are motorsport drivers as well and race car drivers. It's usually from the father who wasn't in the DNA.
Yeah.
I guess it's in the blood, if you can say that way. So you started competitively racing at what year?
Well, dulu I can speak Indonesian.
Yeah, bisa banget.
Dulu I started in Sentul actually. I think tahun 92 I think 9192 to do this one make BMW race.
Okay. Yang 3 Series atau
everybody used 3 Series at that time. I think the series was it ran for only 2-3 years, I think. But I only did like 2 or 3 races.
Okay.
Then I went to school. Then I stopped racing.
Okay.
Ini cuma buat hobi seru-seruan aja waktu itu, buat ngerame-ramein katanya waktu itu. So I first started then I stopped. Then I went to video games.
Okay.
Dari situ, and I just kept going through video games. And then only 2012, I was exposed to the Ferrari Challenge.
2012. Okay.
Yes.
So it's been 12 years now, yeah? 12 years and running.
Yes.
So waktu itu kuliah, I'm guessing S1 or S2?
S1.
Okay, so itu sebelum S1 you tried the one make race.
Yeah.
And then you went into Gran Turismo and the like.
Yeah.
Need for Speed? No, just Gran
Also
Turismo?
a bit.
Oh, itu apa ya? Underground atau?
Wow, I think it was still the first generation. I think it was still on Panasonic. I think no.
Panasonic.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. 3DO or something. I forgot. But okay, Need for Speed was one of the first. Then when Gran Turismo came, I think everybody, all my friends started to, hey, let's play this new game that is so realistic at the time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, they call it maybe not a video game, lebih ke simulator
sim, yeah.
Because you
More
can
like a sim.
racing sim because you can adjust like all the little details. I mean,
There's so many things you can play around with, yeah.
Exactly. And when we were kids nggak ngerti apa-apa, yang penting mau balapan aja. But it does make a difference. It makes you get acquainted about the little tweaks you can do on the car.
Yeah. Correct.
Okay, so after you finished university, you never went into racing again?
No.
Langsung ke Ferrari Challenge?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. I was like, I felt a bit, I get awalnya because, well, okay, giving the story how I came to a Ferrari Challenge because a good friend of mine, a good friend of my father was working for Ferrari, and I think from headquarters, they came out with a product. They say like, look, every country, every dealership needs to sell one Ferrari Challenge.
Okay.
And how it works is you buy the car and you have to compete in the series.
I see. Okay.
So, but in the beginning, they told me like, my father came up to me and said, look, I bought a Ferrari Challenge. You want to go drive around? I'm like, sure, I'll drive around. Yeah, okay, there's an event going on. You can drive, just relax. I'm like, okay. So I took my first trip to Japan and I asked, is this a track day? And they told me, no, it's not a track day, it's a race. It's a race? I said, I can't race, I say.
Langsung nyemplung.
Yeah, so I'm like, I can't race. I have no background, I say.
Oh wow, okay.
So yaudah dicemplungin.
Langsung in Japan, which
Suzuka.
That's one of the more difficult tracks, no? Suzuka?
One of the most difficult tracks. I'm like, okay.
Wow, okay.
So yeah, it took me a while to get used to it. I mean, I felt sick going in, nauseous, motion sickness and all that. I'm like, wow, okay. I felt like I wasn't ready for this.
Right.
So then the next round came. Then I started to like, you know what? Maybe I can do this. Let's work more. Let's put more time in training.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how it started to build up more.
Okay. So now it's been 12 years. The rest is history. So
yeah.
How many times a year do you go on these races? Because you're traveling quite a bit.
Yeah. Usually one season is about 6 rounds.
Okay.
6 to 7 rounds.
6 to 7 rounds. One season itu berapa bulan, Pak?
It usually starts from April to September.
Okay.
Around there.
Okay. So that's one a year.
Yeah.
One season a year.
Yeah.
Dan itu you go through multiple cities atau
usually if it's Asia, then it's around Asia, Malaysia, China, Japan. It's around Asia. You also have the European and you also have the American region.
I see. Yeah. Okay. Now, what got you into? You mentioned about your dad yang langsung nyemplung into the Ferrari Challenge, but has Ferrari always been a close brand of you and the family, or?
Yeah, I mean it wasn't. I mean, yeah, kebetulan we're very close to the dealership, which I always felt being supported by the dealership. So we got to gimana ya jelasinnya? We became very close, and it became sentimental also some other brand.
Oh, okay. Dari kecil itu, since you were small.
Well, no, actually dari kecil I was my dad's first sports car was a Porsche, I think.
Okay.
But it's in Europe. The car is in Europe.
Okay.
The car is in Europe. But this is pure just buying from a dealership.
Okay.
So yes, I'm exposed to a few brands, but then of course when I look at Formula One and all that, I see all this brand, that brand. Ferrari is one of them.
Yeah.
So yeah. I got to grow to understand.
I see. So your relationships intertwined between Ferrari, the brand, and not just in Indonesia, and not just in Jakarta, but Ferrari dari headquarters yang langsung juga. Because there is a program called the Corse Clienti.
Corse Clienti.
Yeah, I'm probably butchering that. Corse Clienti.
So
you need to be on the upper echelon of a Ferrari client to be part of that program, or how do you get into that?
Okay, so actually, Ferrari Maranello created this platform called Corse Clienti. It's to actually build a relationship with clients who like to drive on the track.
Okay.
So Corse Clienti is more like track days.
Okay.
It's not so serious like racing, but you're still in that scene.
Okay.
So it's not like clubs, car clubs where you drive on the street.
Yeah.
It's not like racing. So it's
Somewhere
you're
in
on the
between.
track, you get to meet people, network with people around the world, and you get to drive your cars.
I see. Masih ada lifestyle aspeknya lah to it.
Yeah,
Not just like it's not a full-on racing career.
Exactly.
And it's not a full-on
Yeah.
lifestyle
So
thing.
it's in
but like,
between.
I see.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure. So dari sejak 2012 sudah you've been a part of that program dong ya?
So actually, not yet. When I joined Ferrari Challenge, Ferrari headquarters said, okay, look, these clients obviously like going on the track.
Yeah.
So they get offered, look, do you want to join the Corse Clienti? We have cars that are coming up that are made for only Corse Clienti
Oh, okay.
programs.
Yeah.
You can't, well, it's not suggested that you drive somewhere else, but you should drive it with this in the Corse Clienti department lah.
Oh, so they're just also developing that the new program since you joined?
It's been going, but it's developing every year. Gitu.
Interesting.
Yeah.
They're evolving and
Yeah.
improving through.
There's one guy in Ferrari headquarters. He's very brilliant. He's like, look, let's do this program. Let's do this. Develop. Tahun ini boleh ini, tahun ini boleh itu. He's expanding the whole pie. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
So you've seen it evolve
Yeah.
through its nascent stages until now, yeah?
Yeah.
So how many participants worldwide, you know? Like, or you meet the same people
Oh,
atau beda-beda? Biasanya kalau lagi race.
Kalau lagi join the Corse Clienti, it depends on where you go. Usually, everybody gets together in the World Finals akhir tahun. The Ferrari
Okay.
Challenge has World Finals, Corse Clienti. Everybody, they all ngumpul. It's a big festival.
It's September, yeah? You were
It's
mentioning.
usually September, November, around there.
Okay.
So around
okay.
there.
Okay.
That's where even the Formula One drivers all come together.
Wow.
It's like a festival.
Okay.
Then you see it. Then you get to meet a lot of people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So an experience yang unforgettable. Yeah?
Yeah.
It got you hooked, that's for sure.
Yeah. It's actually a nice weekend. You drive on the track. There's hospitality suites. There's also the main gala dinner. So
Okay.
it's a big event.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like black tie dinner event atau just
Yeah, they say black tie, but
But no one
everybody they can relax. It's not a formal dinner.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're dying to know because we're all car enthusiasts here at heart. Our viewers, our crew, everyone loves cars. You've driven some crazy cars, right? Especially race cars. So was it like to drive the FXX or I have one more, but let's try with the FXXK first. How is that?
Yeah, the K is something that I think Ferrari did a very good job in developing that car. It's like a track version of the LaFerrari. It's monster horsepower. How do you say? It's a rigid car, but if I compare it to GT cars, you still feel the weight on the car
Oh, okay.
because of the battery.
Right.
But the car and the sound, the technology it's like a hybrid. It's like a completely different. It's a different feel.
Different feel, yeah.
Yeah.
So is that one of the crazier cars that you've driven? Probably.
One of them. Yeah, one of them. It's always fun to drive a car like that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the next car I'm gonna ask is the 248 F1. Because I've seen photos, but it's one of those legendary photos where you're browsing like, did you really just drive that? So how was that? So this is the F1 car, the legit.
I think it's the first V8. I think.
Okay.
Schumacher's first V8.
Yeah.
When I first, again back to Corse Clienti, they put me on a 3-hour simulator to make sure I don't screw it up. So I had to go on a simulator for 3 hours. Got me motion sickness and everything starts coming back again.
Wow. Simulatornya sampai gerak-gerak gitu?
Not too much, but it's just kadang-kadang agak beda when you feel it in the end when you have to do 3 hours. They just want to make sure that that you're ready for it, and then you also have briefing before you get to the car. So one day is like briefing and simulator. So the
Okay.
next day only you get into the car.
Okay.
And yeah, it's I can't explain it with words because it's something that you really need to experience. I mean, I'm still an amateur. I'm just a gentleman driver. I mean, there's a lot of Indonesian pros that have a lot more experience than I have, and I mean, they have gone to Formula One. They have tested. I don't know how to say it. I need to learn a lot from them also on how to explain this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't explain the experience. It's
Yeah,
a whole other animal.
susah
It's a
ngomong.
whole
Yeah.
other animal.
Yeah,
than GT
yeah,
cars.
Yeah, you're sitting so low on the ground. I mean, your sight is like you can only see the yeah, you can barely see anything.
Yeah.
And then when you go fast, when you do this, you get pulled back by the wind.
Oh yeah. The G-force is
The
another
G-force,
level
yeah.
you get
Yeah.
during the corners, and it just when
It's
you go
so pointy. It's so pointy. it just goes. It goes wherever you want it to go. Yeah.
Wow. So you did that for a few laps waktu itu. It's
Yeah,
part of the
yeah.
program juga.
It's a shakedown. You
Okay.
receive the car, and then they say, okay, now that the car is already yours, they say which program you want to. I mean, which country do you want to go to drive?
Okay.
So at that time, I chose to go to Mugello.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I drove it in Mugello, and I drove it in Monza.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. So you have to purchase the car first, right?
Yes.
It's not an experience. You actually have to own.
You have to own the car.
So you actually have that in your
yes.
portfolio. Okay. All right. The first one I think ever that we ever sat with who actually has an F1 car. That's amazing. Wow. So your collection biasanya is a lot of race cars, or you also have road-going cars juga?
We have
'Cause I
some
know
road-going cars, but most of the cars we have is all abroad.
All abroad, yeah.
None of them. We don't have any cars here.
Wow. Okay. So the race cars, you have the 296, right?
The 296, yeah,
The FXX.
yeah,
You have the F1.
yeah.
I can't believe I'm saying this like. Okay, and then what else? What else is in your race car collection?
I still have my old Ferrari Challenge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What else? I think we also have a GTE. I think a 458 GTE.
Okay.
Yes.
So these are all Ferraris. Your
These are all
collection.
Ferraris, yeah.
You don't have anything else other than
No.
a true Ferrari, a true Ferrari enthusiast here.
Diracunin sama Ferrari soalnya.
Oh, that's your Ferrari. Once you're in, you can't get out.
You can't get out.
Wow. And how is it like to? I guess the top of the whole collection is the F1, the Schumacher F1. How difficult was it for you to bid for it, or you were offered it, or?
Usually within the Corse Clienti, you always hear and you can always ask if there are other clients that want to sell or buy.
Okay.
So they always try to offer
Within
di dalam circle-nya itu dulu.
Okay.
And if nobody wants it apa, then it goes out gitu.
So was that a individual decision on your end, or was it
It was.
consult your dad as
Oh
well?
yeah,
Like, okay, this is it.
it's a family decision.
It's a family decision.
It's a family
Had a board meeting about it, like
Oh,
you
yeah,
want
yeah,
this
yeah,
F1?
yeah.
Wow, but it's been a dream juga for you guys to secure that
Yeah.
special car.
Yeah.
Jadi emang lagi nunggu, okay, when this thing comes around, we're gonna jump on it.
So in the beginning, when we joined Corse Clienti, we went to the finals and like, wait a minute, there's so many Formula One cars. Are these for sale? Yeah, you can buy them. So I'm like, okay.
Okay.
So yeah, of course you have different types. Yang udah menang juara dunia itu yang paling mahal. Then you have the one yang nggak juara dunia, and then you have the test version, you have the qualifying version. So you have so many different versions.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they're legit F1 cars.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
You have a whole team that runs with you. You can't just go there and.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
So you have to schedule, and
They
like
have
a
to
team of
prepare
what,
everything.
like 50 people or?
5-6 people.
Oh, 5-6. Oh, not that many.
To
Okay.
start the car, 5-6. Yeah, about 10 people. 10 people. But that's why they have these programs called Corse Clienti, because then everybody's there.
Yeah.
You just have to say, okay, I want my car there.
Okay.
Then the whole team is there.
But did you have to like tap into an existing event, or like any track? Like, okay, I want this time of this year.
So no, they give you a yearly calendar.
Okay.
So these are the events. You can pick which one you want to.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Gitu.
Wow. This is
It's like race events. This is like Corse Clienti events. It's exactly the same.
Okay, but there are other F1 cars that go with you.
Ada.
You actually race with one another?
No, it's just track
right?
days.
It's just track days,
yes.
right? Okay. The risk is too high for you to race
No.
with F1
They're
cars.
not allowed to race those. No.
Okay.
So yeah, usually digabung Formula 1 and FXXK, XX program, itu digabung semua.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, different time slots, but same venue.
I see.
Yeah.
And when you were about to secure that car, was there a nasty bidding process? Not nasty, I mean like pretty competitive bidding process. I thought it was just like, hey buddy, like this one's for sale. Like David, you wanna like pick this up? Or?
Yeah, I mean it was pretty. I mean everything had to go through Ferrari, so Ferrari was pretty helpful in this. They say okay.
They mediate the whole.
Yeah, they control it basically.
Oh, they control.
Ada mau jual, okay. You interested? This much, okay. So.
Okay. Did you have to compete with someone else when you were looking for it?
Not at that time. Tapi dibilang if you're waiting too long, it's gonna go to someone else. Dibilang gitu aja sih.
Okay.
Gitu. So.
The waiting list, I'm so fascinated by this. So I have to ask before, like, okay, sign me up for the Schumacher F1 car, and then like, okay, this is.
Ada aja sih yang mau beli sih. Ada aja, but they don't tell you who and what or how many. They just say like, are you interested? You want it? Okay, now apa enggak gitu loh.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah.
So you secured that car. What year?
I think it was 2017 atau 16 ya.
So quite a while, yeah.
Yeah, quite a while.
And there's basically like a yearly maintenance you have to pay for.
Yeah, running costs.
Running costs, right?
Yes.
Like owning a private jet, essentially. Like there's a track cost, there's a maintenance, there's a team that has to look after it.
So that's why I hardly drive it because I don't want the mileage to go up. Because then you have to rebuild stuff. There's things you need to do, fix.
Yeah, and it's all controlled by Ferrari. Yeah? Parts,
Ferrari,
and everything. They just like send you the bill and like that's it. You just have to pay.
You have to pay.
And
Can't negotiate.
You have to pay at this time. Okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. So talk about a little bit about the Fanatec GT World Challenge Asia a little bit. So congratulations on the podium finish. That race finished last week? A week and a half ago?
Was yeah.
In Japan, right?
In Japan. Yes,
Okay.
Japan.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How are you positioned for this season?
I think we're pretty okay. At the moment, we're leading in the AM class, which is the gentleman class.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
There's the pro class, there's the pro am class, and there's the gentleman class.
Okay.
We're competing in the gentleman class.
Gentleman class.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, it's been fun. It's a bit less competitive than those pro class.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, gentleman, right? So you're still not as competitive. You're still competitive. I'm guessing you're quite a competitive guy, but you're positioned quite well for a season. So I think congratulations again, and wish you all the best until soon. Yeah, soon it will be the
next week is Shanghai.
Next week is Shanghai, and that's the last one.
That's the last one.
So all the best for that race.
Thank you.
All the best for that race.
Thank you.
What's the goal for you? Are you looking for going up further than the gentleman class? Or?
I think I'd like to relax more while racing. So I think gentleman class is where I want to be at the moment.
Okay.
I don't want to go too far.
Too far.
Yeah.
Okay. You're comfortable here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're shifting gears now, no pun intended, to more of the road going cars. So we know that you're a race car enthusiast, I guess, from your collection, but you also have a few road legal cars.
Legal cars.
Even though maybe not in Jakarta, but somewhere else in another country. So what Ferraris or any other brand that you've owned over the years? Can you share some of that collection?
Yeah. I mean, besides the Ferraris, I also actually like those Japanese cars, those JDM
JDMs?
cars. Yeah.
Okay.
I used to fine tune. I have Subaru before. I had a Subaru.
Okay.
I used to fine tune, drag race at night.
Oh wow!
I used to do all that.
This was back in the day.
A long time ago.
Okay. Young STI.
Yeah.
Boxer engine.
Yeah, Boxer engine.
Those are great cars.
Yeah.
So you don't really own those cars here in Jakarta, right? Mostly it's
And the Subaru's here.
Oh, the Subaru's here.
Subaru's here, yeah.
Ah, okay.
Subaru's
I
here.
wish you yeah. You
No,
could've
it doesn't go anymore.
it doesn't go anymore?
I need to jumpmart the car.
Well, we could always tow it, you know. Just kidding. Maybe we can get a picture of it from you, but we're interested about that. How about the other road legal cars you've driven? Anything that you've liked?
Yeah, I mean, sports cars. We have an old 430.
Okay. The what did
The
you call
Scuderia.
it? The Scuderia.
Scuderia.
I've heard great things about that car.
Yeah, Scuderia.
It's loud for the road, but
It's loud. It's loud.
It's an epic car.
You know, to be honest, after driving all these race cars and all that, I feel like driving comfortable cars.
Okay.
Those are much more. I feel more secure.
Yeah.
More relaxed.
Yeah.
Get to,
Like that quota for thrill and exhilaration is already done on the track. So
Yeah.
you want more like, I just want to relax.
SUVs.
My quiet cabin.
Yeah,
SUVs.
SUVs.
Yeah, we've heard that before. We've heard that before, especially with the race car drivers that's been
Yes,
on our
yes,
show.
yes.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, we're talking just about the road legal cars, right? So I understand you want something a little bit relaxed after like a day on the track or a few days at that. But what's one that you've driven? Maybe it doesn't even have to be a sports car, right? It could be anything, and in combination with the road, because I think also like we talked about, driving the car is also part of the environment. What was a good driving experience that you had on the legal roads?
Driving experience. It's okay. The car or the experience?
I think the overall, right? The car has to do something with it as well.
If it's the car itself, I mean, of course, sports cars are always nice to drive, but I think driving in Europe or in America is like one of the best experience. It's open roads, countryside, perfect view. It's just you and your family and in the car. No traffic.
Yeah, speed limits, but yeah.
Speed limits, yeah.
So what are some of those roads like in countryside, like what, in Italy, in Switzerland, or in US, like talking about California?
California, actually, I like the drive to Carmel.
Carmel,
Yes,
beautiful
yes,
drive.
yes. Beautiful drive.
Yeah.
17-mile drive. It's just
So you would go up from LA or go
San
down?
Francisco.
Oh, San
Down.
Francisco going down.
Yeah.
And you'd end up back in San Francisco?
yeah.
Okay. Carmel is beautiful. Beautiful.
Very nice, very nice.
Is it really a city? It's like a small town.
It's small,
really. Yeah.
Kayak desa gitu.
Yeah, okay, there's but like every corner is like, is that really that car that I just saw?
Yeah.
Nice little town here. Yeah, Carmel is nice. What would you drive there usually?
I drove my uncle's Porsche Cayenne.
Okay.
It's a very nice car to drive. It's an SUV.
Yeah.
Powerful, turbo.
Yeah.
So it
V8.
was, yeah. So it's, for me, that would be a nice and comfortable scene for me.
I see. With just enough grunt to give you like that excitement
and not
thrill.
so exposed, not so flashy.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's
Cayenne.
yeah.
Interesting.
Cayenne.
So semua akan Porsche pada akhirnya.
Oops.
Because everyone loves Porsches. I don't know. I think it's just the way they built their cars, right? It's like it has a few racing like heritage to it, but also just the racing feel. It's not too intimidating for someone if they were to step into their first sports car, maybe going into like a Ferrari or Lamborghini. Pasti would be okay. Oh my gosh, there's so many things going on.
Yeah.
It's just in between. But interesting you mentioned Cayenne. So having the family there, having just the V8 grunt. Was it a turbo? Do you remember?
Turbo,
Was it
yeah.
Cayenne turbo?
It's a turbo.
Okay. So it's a V8
Turbo.
twin turbo.
Yeah.
Very enough
powerful.
horsepower.
Very powerful.
Very nice, very nice. And what are your thoughts on the brand just in general about Porsche? Because I think every guest we've had is like, oh, my dream car is a Porsche.
I mean, okay, I'm exposed to a lot of Ferraris, but Ferrari it's a choice, of course. I mean, I always pick Ferraris, but Porsche would be like the next brand I would go for. I mean, the upcoming cars right now is super developed, very aggressive. That GT3 RS, I really like it.
A lot on the road these days.
Yeah.
Banyak banget.
Price is crazy.
The price is crazy.
But yeah, I mean, Porsche is always there. Porsche is Porsche.
Yeah. How about the best Ferrari then? Like road legal car that you think that's rolled out of their factory?
I think those anniversary editions like the F40, the F50, the LaFerraris, those are always very good.
Yeah.
There's a new one coming up. I think this year. I think they're gonna launch. But I don't know what the name is.
Yeah. Well, you're probably gonna be one of the first who will get the name and offer.
Just the name. Just the name.
Okay. Yeah. You've driven the LaFerrari.
I've driven the LaFerrari. Yeah.
Enzo.
No, not yet.
F40.
No.
F50?
No, still on my bucket list.
No, you've driven crazier cars, so it's okay. You're
still on my bucket list.
Okay. And LaFerrari how is that on the road? That's
powerful. Actually, I drove it on the track.
Oh, you drove it on the track?
Yeah, I drove it on the track.
You drove it in your comfort zone.
Yeah, comfort zone.
Opposite of many people, your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, crazy car. And I think like a lot of these manufacturers are also shifting a little bit, right? With EVs and all that stuff. How do you feel about that? Are you up with the movement or?
I think in the long run, yes, going green is everybody's goal in every department. But I'm still not sure if batteries are the solution. I hear like Toyota's going hydro.
Yeah.
So I think different companies are trying to go green in different ways,
right?
Without causing any more problems. So yeah, I'm still learning and seeing what's happening.
You're not jumping on the bandwagon too quickly. Like,
no.
We're on the same page with that.
Yeah. I'm just looking and seeing. I mean, all EV cars right now are new. So let's see in 5 years. 5-6 years, what's going to happen?
I mean, the prices are falling like crazy as well on the second-hand market now. And just a lot of new models are coming into the market, and we just don't know the longevity of these cars.
It's coming too fast.
It's coming too fast.
Yeah.
And almost too forceful in some aspects for some countries, regulations-wise and everything. Ganjil Genap aja could be a decision maker, for most people, even for myself.
Correct.
Think about that. But how about like the hybrid? Maybe hybrid is a good middle point.
I think hybrid would be the most efficient car at the moment.
Yeah.
Apalagi like in America, those hybrid cars, di dalam kota, you don't use fuel. And when you're on the highway, you barely use any fuel.
Yeah.
Because of the low RPMs.
Correct.
So yeah, itu benar-benar irit tuh.
Yeah. And no range anxiety, right? Because you still have a fuel cap to open and to fill in.
So yeah, hybrid is a very good, efficient car to get.
Yeah. I think it's like a battle that's going on. We want to see just what happens in the next few years. Not to jump on a decision. They're comfortable though. You've been inside EVs before?
Yes, very comfortable, very different also.
Very different.
The feeling is very different.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's going inside a tram or something. You hear the sound effect and like you just hear the tires. Well, in terms of racing, do you follow like Formula E? Just out of curiosity.
Not so much. Not so much.
So there is that aspect of the thrill, right? Like of just traditional combustion engines.
Yeah, you need to smell fuel when you come to the track,
Right, not just the tires.
No, you need to hear the engine roaring on the straight.
And they're still trying to maintain that. I mean, some cars, they're trying to synthetically input that sound into the cabin, which I think as a car enthusiast is just pretty sad. But the Ioniq 5N, terakhir kalau nggak salah, they're trying to mimic the gear changes. Have you heard about that?
No.
So they're trying to mimic the gear changes, even though it's an EV, and put in the sound and the whole experience. And kind of tricks your brain into thinking like you're driving a combustion engine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
right.
Okay.
But for people who really like cars, they think it's tricked out enough for them to feel the excitement. So it's funny how
it's different.
Your senses are just tricked into thinking like it's a fun car, but anyway. Well.
Yeah.
That's EVs. I guess we can't fight it, but we can observe for the time being, as long as we're not kicked out from the roads yet.
Yeah.
So a lot of our viewers here, why we hold this podcast is they aspire to be a car collector. They aspire to be owning one of these cars someday, right? Maybe in your level is a very special sort of exclusive to own an F1 and the likes. But we always talk about work a little bit, right?
Right.
So I know, based on my limited understanding, is that you come from generational wealth as well. A lot of companies that you hold. You mentioned before you were in a holding, so a lot of major decisions, I guess, in terms of the direction of the family business, or maybe what you can share about.
I mean, our family business has always been about the family. I mean, my father still holds the biggest call in decisions. Of course, we discuss together, manage together, and make decisions. But yeah, it's still an old family-run business.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And you have siblings as well?
I have one sister.
Okay.
But she's not involved in the family business. She is she's on my mom's side. My mom has an F&B, more like an F&B retail business. So she's helping out more on that side, and I'm helping out more on my father's side.
Which is a lot of industries.
Mostly manufacturing.
Okay.
Some property.
Okay.
Yeah. But mostly manufacturing. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And how has that been under your father's shadow through the years? You've learning a lot from him, I'm sure.
Also lots of up and downs throughout the decades. How the economy is going, the effect globally also.
Right.
So yeah, but of course, being in manufacturing, you have to follow where the market takes you. You can't steer it left and right. You just have to see where the product goes, develop machineries.
Right.
Yeah, my father has always been in engineering, therefore he loves cars. So that's how it started. I mean, that's where it came from.
Okay.
I've been a bit less in the engineering side. I'm more in the lifestyle and looking at the car, looking at the shape, hearing the noise, but less in the engines.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are they mostly in retail or B2B?
We have B2B also.
B2B, yeah.
Yes.
So it's maintaining the relationships
with companies. Yeah.
with companies.
Yes.
So big contracts over long term, biasanya.
Correct.
B2B. Because retail is pretty cutthroat, right? Sometimes you got to innovate, like if you innovate in the right time.
Competitors also, yeah.
Yeah. Which is more of your sister's field, I guess, for retail and F&B.
Price wars.
Events apa nih yang kita bisa jalanin to make sure it's always relevant, right, to the market, because the perspectives and loyalties of people are changing rapidly.
Yeah.
But manufacturing. So usually, how busy? What's a typical week like? You have board meetings, or you have to go around into your factories?
Usually, it's more about catching up, more general meetings. Board meetings a bit more like once a month, maybe.
Okay.
I used to do more traveling because most of our factories are in the east.
Okay. East, we're talking still in Asia, or?
Yeah, more in Surabaya, Jawa Timur.
Masih di Indonesia, on
yeah.
East Java.
Yeah,
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So you travel there often?
Not so much lately, but I used to do more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the new highways. I mean, during this last few years, I think it's improved a lot. But I'm pretty sure you still fly, right?
yes.
Okay. All right. And how do you see it evolving? Like, I think we're going through a transitional thing, right, with our country, but I think economy is doing pretty okay.
Yeah.
So business, I'm guessing, is quite stable.
Yeah, I'm confident that Indonesia will settle down, and I think we have high hopes on our new president.
Yeah.
Let's see how it goes. So yeah, I'm confident like things will get better.
Will get better.
Yeah.
Banyak ekspor juga. Atau mostly for
not
domestic
so much.
consumption.
Domestic. Not so much.
Okay. So your off-takers are mostly local companies, yeah? So to manage the relationship is easier, I guess?
Yeah.
Okay. And this has been, your family business has gone on from your father's generation, or even before
before my father.
Okay,
So yeah, I
during
think,
the Dutch era then?
yeah,
Waktu
I think I'm
zaman
third or
Belanda.
fourth generation.
Third
now.
or fourth generation?
I think
Oh,
so.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't go that far back.
Okay, but
Yeah.
so even before, during the Dutch era, though.
Yeah.
So your dad speaks Dutch, or?
My dad speaks Dutch. My mom speaks Dutch.
Okay. Biasanya gitu kan kalau udah turun menurun.
Yeah.
I want to teach my kids. This is sort of our secret language because my parents
Dutch.
spoke Dutch as well.
Okay, so you speak Dutch also?
Beetje, not so
Beetje.
much.
Okay.
Cuma tahu vervelen.
The important word.
The important word keep zonder kop. but yeah, okay, interesting. And you feel like you're gonna be taking over soon in the family business, or udah mulai di kayak okay?
Yeah, it's
maybe
already.
you gotta, like-
I already feel like things are coming my way and all that, and I also depend a lot on my team.
Yeah.
I believe always a teamwork, a good solid team can make better judgment, and I'm a team player.
I see.
Yeah.
So.
So
You hire great people, right? To make you can't handle everything.
no. I would rely on people around me.
Yeah. I guess at the end of the day, if you own a lot of companies and businesses, it's about people management and expectations, right?
Yeah, relationship
building and
Right.
maintenance
Yes.
at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So really understanding what that person wants and what drives that person, and organizing
Correct.
the environment to fit
Yes.
the goal and the vision that you have
Correct.
for the business.
Correct.
Wow. And
Yeah.
has that been difficult, or your
Ups
dad
and downs.
you?
It's always up and down, but yeah.
Kebanyakan udah lama kerja in
Ada yang lama, ada yang baru, but the challenge always for me is to maintain the relationship. I mean, you feel things are going bad, you have to steer it up again. Ya gitulah, jaga hubungan aja basically.
Yeah.
Make sure hubungan antara yang lain juga okay.
Right. And internally too, between you and your father too, right?
Yep.
Definitely.
Especially that.
Especially that's probably
Especially that.
the most important one, right?
Yes.
Out of everything. Okay. Yeah. I'm familiar with some family businesses, pasti there's always emotions underlying and everything in between, right? It's not just business. And when do you talk outside of business, outside of that? It's like just on the basic family stuff you get, and balancing all of that.
Correct.
And running the whole thing.
I mean, we have to know when it's time to not talk about work, when it's time to talk about other things. You know, kadang when it's time to talk about work. It's just about timing also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think if you were to wind back 20 years ago, right? Sometimes we ask this to our guests as well. Just on the work-life philosophy, what would you tell your younger self? What you've learned throughout 20 years? Jadi itu tahun berapa ya? 2004.
2004, yes.
2004.
What would I was? This question has been in my head since last night. I don't know.
It's a tough question.
It's very yeah.
It's not easy. I mean, wisdom comes with age, but at the same time.
I mean, I would say like, you need to be passionate about what you do, and you need to believe and enjoy what you do. And sometimes, or 20 years ago, you don't know what you like to do, what you're passionate about. You're still seeking.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if you could find that before, I mean, things would be a lot more. You could do a lot more things. I think you could develop faster. You could. I wouldn't say age, but you would be a much wiser person. I think.
Yeah.
Where you are now, or where I am now.
Yeah.
You lose a lot of time, basically.
Yeah, and I think that's a lot of challenges in understanding yourself, I think. Right?
Yeah.
It also comes with age. As you go through some trials and tribulations, sometimes you're like, oh, actually that pissed me off pretty much, you know?
Right.
Or I'm really bad at this.
And you really realize belakangan.
Baru belakangan, when you
belakangan.
reflect.
Yeah.
I think self-reflection also plays a big role on that. And I think that comes with age and time.
Correct.
Some of us also still don't know. Like sometimes I'm like,
until now even. Yeah, betul.
you know, like but continuously always. I think talking with your wife or like
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
close to you, so they sometimes give a different perspective. Like,
She does support me a lot and give me a lot of inputs. But yeah, I mean, it helps. It helps.
Yeah.
It helps.
Sometimes too much input, but
Too
from
much,
our
too
husbands, we love our wives. We're nothing without our wives and kids. And you have a young daughter as well.
Yeah,
What,
yeah.
like udah year dong ya maksudnya
Udah
sekarang?
setahun
Udah
2 bulan ya.
Wow.
Yeah.
And balancing all of that, life sort of changes as soon as
Oh yeah, completely.
yeah,
Completely.
the priorities, and you understand yourself better too, having that topic, right?
Much more, yes. And also adjusting to the whole situation.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
time.
Yes. Commitment.
Yeah, commitment. Yeah. Do you bring them on your races as well?
Yes. I mean, I've always tried to make my racing scene as a family short vacation.
Right.
So I always take him along. Well,
Okay.
most of the time, unless it's a very uncomfortable racetrack or journey, then
Yeah.
I would say better stay back.
But I'm guessing most of the Ferrari Challenge races, they have like the
Yeah.
hospitality booth, and
Yes,
they treat you
yes.
pretty well. So
I mean, once you've gone on the tour and all that, you already know what to do, what to expect, so you can explain, you can make sure what not to do, what to do.
Yeah.
So it's already comfortable. Yeah.
What's your wife's favorite track to go to, or which city that's been?
Okay, she
family?
did say Abu Dhabi was one of the best experience. Abu Dhabi and probably Japan.
Abu Dhabi and Japan. Okay.
Yeah, probably Japan.
Nice. So she enjoyed. She came with you in the race
Last week no. Last
last
week
week
no.
nggak?
Karena kita baru balik dari Amerika kan.
Iya, jadi masih
So
jet
she's
lag.
masih jet lag. So I
Yeah.
said, let me go first. You just stay back. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. Well, talking about family, I think the last segment is we like to talk about the philosophy. Even though we touched a little bit about like knowing yourself and if you were to reflect back, understanding where you want to go. Now that you have a daughter, what's something that like a life philosophy that you've gotten from maybe your father or from your life that you want to like sort of hand over and teach? What's one message that our followers can also follow, you think?
I mean, I've always believed that being true to yourself, being honest to yourself, makes you a better person, makes you believe that, and builds your confidence. So in any decision you make or going forward, if you're in doubt, just believe in yourself, look at yourself, and I mean, I always believe that things will flow and go good. And if it doesn't, it's for a reason.
So you believe in that sort of like external somethings and like putting things into place, or
Well, I believe in God, and always, if things are not there yet, things will come. I mean,
Yeah.
it's all in the plan. It's for a reason. So
yes.
yeah.
I think that's important. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's something you wanna, teach also for the
Yeah,
next generation.
and if things start to go down bad, just keep looking forward, stay positive, believe that there's always something good that's going to happen. There's something good that's definitely going to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
What got you through the toughest struggle, you think, in life? Because everyone has sort of that splinter a little bit, like no matter what. And maybe from an outsider's perspective, it's like, oh yeah, Pak David has the life that I want to live. But of course, semuanya pasti ada the yin and yang working, right? So, what are some of those struggles and what got you through that?
I mean, sometimes you feel, just feeling like you're at the lowest point, but trying to bounce back, think positive, just try to focus on what will, you have to see further than this. You have to see how to explain. How to explain this? You need to have faith, basically. You have to have faith and believe that, look, God is still on your side. So even if things are happening now, don't lose faith.
Right.
So yeah, I've always tried to hang on to that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sometimes challenging as well. It's like a muscle that you don't train.
It's easy to say, but sometimes when you're at the lowest point, or when hard times are there, you can only hang on to things like this.
Yeah.
And of course, family support is always there. I mean, I always feel like they're always behind my back.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, when logic does not compute for a certain situation, then you have nothing else to turn to. Then, yeah,
Correct.
that's important, and it's a hard thing to train. Even though on paper it's like that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, and even until now, I mean, it happens again.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. What was one that maybe you don't have to share too much, but is it like something that happened in your personal life that got you through that? Is it was it a business situation? What is it?
Yeah, I mean, mostly relationships, mostly family relationships, communication, expectation.
Yeah.
So yeah, things like that sometimes can be very hard to overcome, manage, because it's between family.
Yeah. It's like your support system, but then it's sort of
it's
fragile. You realize the
yeah.
cracks, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
this is not the perfect thing that I thought it was.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah. Yeah. So I think family relationship we talked about. Just the last question, if you were to, so anybody out there maybe who's listening in who struggles with this, what's one tip that you mentioned about looking forward, but sometimes it's a bit difficult with family relationships. Would you say like things will come, like they're just always going to be there, or?
Yeah, I mean, stay positive, stay true to yourself. I would say dreams are important for us to reach, and anything is possible. Anything is possible. So don't give up. Always have that hope.
Yes.
Yes.
Very, very nice,
Yes.
positive. Yeah, I think that's good. Easier said than done sometimes. But
Always.
All right. So appreciate your time. I think we
Thank you,
always
Mike.
end our episodes with what we call a lightning round. So a lightning round is you don't think, just answer between the two options that we're gonna mention. Okay. So usually the first thing that you think of is usually the truth.
Okay.
So they say. So are you ready? We got 5 questions. Monza or Spa?
Spa.
Ferrari 248 or FXXK?
248.
Okay. Enzo or LaFerrari?
LaFerrari.
Okay. Race weekend or Concours d'Elegance?
Race weekend.
Ooh, okay. And finally, Ferrari or Porsche?
Ferrari.
Okay. Well, we sort of knew that already, but I just wanted to check in. You did mention the Cayenne early, but I think thank you so much. I think it's been an inspiring episode. Hopefully, our viewers also think the same. But it's been a long time coming, and it's truly an honor to have you on the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And all the best on the rest of the season.
Yeah, thank you.
On your race, just a little bit more. Hopefully, more podium finishes for you in the future. The best to you and your family.
Thank you. And all the best to you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much, David.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Mike.
it.
Thank you.
Take care, Speeders. See you next time.
See you.